Window and door openings are sized according to the rough openings, or ROs, as provided by the window or door manufacturer. Typically, the rough openings are 1 inch larger than the window. Once the openings have been cut, they have to be supported. There are 4 common ways of bucking door and window openings: easy buck, wood buck, EPS buck, and steel buck. Nudura's vinyl Easy Buck offers a quick and simple way of reinforcing openings. Simply cut the vinyl to the desired length and fit it onto the side forms. Slide an appropriate length of 2-inch thick lumber into the buck channels. In the window you see here, notice that the installer has not bucked the lower edge of the window, since he will need an opening for concrete placement. Notice also that the header is simply nailed or screwed to one of the vertical jambs and sealed to the overhead forms with spray foam. Weather permitting, reinforce the forms around the opening by running a length of fiber tape from the outside to the inside around each course of forms. Otherwise, reinforce the opening with strapping. Run 3.5-inch screws diagonally through the vinyl into the wood every 18 inches. By running the screws at an angle, you not only fasten the Easy Buck to the wood, but you also anchor the wood to the concrete. On larger openings, you may also need wooden cross bracing. A more traditional way of producing a buck is to make it out of lumber. As with Easy Buck, you have to leave an open channel for concrete placement at the bottom of the buck, and you need to install anchor bolts and reinforcing fiber tape. Similarly, you may need to cross-brace larger openings. A variation on these 2 methods requires you to prepare a buck 2 5/8 inches narrower than the overall form. This approach has several benefits. There is no thermal bridging, it will be easier to apply exterior stucco, and the buck will serve as an inner fastening surface. Another method simply uses an EPS end cap to form the vertical jambs of a window opening. The end cap incorporates both an internal anchoring system and a fastening strip strong enough to support windows. And finally, some designers call for steel bucks, such as you see here on this commercial building. Of course, not all windows are rectangular. In the job you are watching, the designer has specified arched windows. You could frame the top of the window with plywood, but there is an easier way. Frame the window as though it was rectangular and lay a course of Nudura form panels above it. Now cut the shape of the arch out of EPS flat stock and slide the arch shapes into place inside the forms above the window. Measure the available distance for each web above the arch and cut the bottom of the slide-in webs accordingly. Slide the webs into the channels. Seal the internal seams with spray foam. Nudura will factory cut radius bullets as required on larger orders. Once the concrete has been placed and cured, you simply use a reciprocating saw to cut the header and remove the internal EPS panels you used to make the arch. We'll finish this module by mentioning a special situation that occurs if you are called upon to install a window or a door within 3 feet of a corner. Reinforce the corner by running strapping right across the opening to the corner.